Journal. I did put language in there that must attend the meeting. I don't know if we'll be able to, because it will be such a broad span of time. So that's all.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next thing on the agenda is the West Virginia Extension rental agreement and modify the agreement. Commissioners, you know at the last meeting, April Roach from the West Virginia Extension had approached the County Commission about changing locations, that County Commission would have to enter into an agreement with the Stowers and Sons Land Company, and then West Virginia Extension would enter into a sublease from the Lincoln County Commission. I do have those two original contracts here. I've spoken with Jackie. He's been very busy with preparing for grand jury and everything, and but he did say that these didn't look like a legitimate lease, and he gave his authorization for Mr. McKinney to enter into the agreement.
At this juncture, entertain a motion to accept and agree to lease this property that has been discussed.
Second.
Motion is second. All yes, motion carries. You ready, April? You already down there, probably, aren't you?
Okay, and I have a second part to that. I need a motion to modify the current agreement that we have with the West Virginia Extension to increase their allotment for, yes, for the coverage of the rent.
So moved. I'll second.
Motion is second to increase their budget, and we did that also at the planning meeting this week for next year, as we look at it in March. Being all yes vote, motion carries.
Next thing on the agenda is the estate of Hassel A. Woodrum. The elected sheriff commissioners at the last meeting, we had agreed that we would name Joe Stevens as the fiduciary commissioner over the estate to handle that. In the meantime, we have received a request, a motion to remove this from the county commission to move it to the circuit court because it is in front of the magistrate. They've taken it to circuit court now, and they would like for all this to be handled in the circuit court.
And both attorneys.
Yes, that.
I'll move. Second.
Motion second. All yes, motion carries on the estate of Hassel Woodrum.
Next thing on the agenda, I need a motion to approve the bills as submitted for payment.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. All yes, motion carries.
Need a motion to approve the appointments, wills, and settlements as submitted for approval by Donald C. Whitten, clerk.
Motion. Second.
Motion is second. Being all yes vote, motion carries.
I need a motion to approve the employment of Hannah Cooper as a part-time secretary assistant in the Office of the Probation at a rate of pay of $8.50 per hour, not to exceed 16 hours per week, effective January the 18th, 2011. This position will be paid from bond forfeiture money as approved by Judge J. Hubbard.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. All yes, motion carries.
I need a motion to approve a donation to the Women's Leadership Institute 2011 in the amount of $1,000 as requested by the Southern West Virginia Community and Technical College.
Second.
Motion is second. Speak to the issue just a moment. I think it's a great opportunity. No one knows how it'll turn out, but basically what Southern has proposed is having an institute that would focus up on women leadership in this area that Southern serves, with a 2-day kickoff beginning later on in the year, in June or something of that nature, and then throughout the year some other meetings with those people. Sign up, and hopefully it'll be something good. We have lots of high quality people in our county doing jobs in leadership, and none more important than been so good at it as Miss Tomlin back here. I mean, you talk about women on the front line doing lots of leadership. She's done it year in, year out for years, at least 4 or 5, and it's just a great opportunity, I think, to let women know that we appreciate the opportunity to give them further training and whatever they might desire. Had a motion second, being all yes vote, motion carries.
Next thing is, I need a motion to approve the appointments done in vacation in Lincoln County Commission by Donald C. Whitten, clerk, as follows. Rita Jones is executor to the estate of Darrell Curtis McClure. T.W. Miller is administrator of the estate of Thomas R. Miller. Samuel Stowers is executor of the estate of Allie Reba Stowers. Karen Maynard is administrator to the estate of Vernon Lee Maynard. Carolyn Topping as executors of the estate of Bernice Vance. Ethel M. Ramey is administrator to the estate of Leroy M. Ramey Jr. Michael A. Yeager is executor of the estate of Nancy Yeager. Renee Mullins is executor to the estate of James A. Mullins.
So moved. Second.
Motion second, being all yes vote, motion carries.
I need a motion to accept the resignation of Francis Holton as a member of the Abandoned and Dilapidated Building Enforcement Agency.
Motion. Second.
Motion second, we need to find out whenever they replace his position as the sanitarian, that's what position he was holding. We'll have to get them on board. All yes vote, motion carries.
I need a motion to approve the contract by and between the Lincoln County Commission and Ron Gregory for consultation services concerning the Hatfield-McCoy Trail Systems in the amount of $450 per month.
So moved. Second.
Motion second, all yes, motion carries.
I need a motion to approve subdivision for the Deer Run Estates with the signed attached agreement as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Motion second, all yes, motion carries.
There you go, Kevin.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Hope you sell all of them fast.
Is there anyone in the audience that was not on the agenda that would like to speak at this time?
Ms. Sharp?
Dave?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring you up to date on our last meeting at the McCorkle Community Center. I think each of you have a detailed copy of the minutes of the meeting. There's just a couple of things. Motion was made to limit the term of the officers to 2 years, and we discussed this and felt that 1 year wasn't enough to get any programs off the ground, so we opted for 2-year terms. Also, the McCorkle Board of Directors will have a meeting tomorrow night with the Crime Watch members to discuss use of the building. We'll have a meeting on February the 4th. We're going to invite the public in. That'll be a regular meeting, but we want to get ideas from the general public of what they expect out of the community center. And that's all, that's the highlights of what we happened. You have the minutes of the meeting there, but I just want to let everybody know that. I think Scott is going to notify the newspaper to put these notices in the paper.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you, sir. Others? April? Oh, Mike? Go ahead, April. Ladies first, Mike.
I just wanted to, I'm happy to update the commission. We conducted interviews all day yesterday for the additional Boone Lincoln agent that we're planning to hire, and we're able to select an exceptional candidate that I think the county will be happy once we notify this person and they've accepted. That person will then go on to be recommended to the Extension Service Committee boards, both of Lincoln and Boone. Once that person has been approved by those boards to be hired, I'll bring that person back to be presented to the commission for a formal introduction. I'd like to thank the commission also for the work that you've done and working with us in our moving facilities. It's really going to help, especially with the addition of this new person, to make sure that we have enough space to accommodate our office staff and do what we need to do. And there'll be an open house at some point that we'd like to invite the public to, as well as all of our county officials and all that. That date will be forthcoming. But just quickly on the new Families and Health agent, that agent will be in our office to provide services related to seniors' activities, nutrition and wellness, help for families, mental and physical health. So adding this new person to our office is going to open up the services that the Extension Service can provide through our office. And of course, we're always looking for organizations we can collaborate with. And so, you know, we invite those organizations to contact our office if they're interested in, you know, possibilities of collaborating with our new agent. We'll have to get them in the door and all of that first, but once that happens, I would like to encourage people to contact us if they have interest in that. So, thank you.
And one other note from our meeting this week, trying to think of how the one person dealing with nutrition, we could have more opportunity. With these community centers we have at Corporal and out in the Hearts area, that might be someplace that the gathering could be and there's programs set up and things like that. So pass that along to her. She needs to work with those two community centers, see if she can work out something.
Yes, sir, I'll take care of it.
Mike?
I want to thank the commission, just want to give you an update and let you know what's happening in our neck of the woods. Hopefully within the next 30 days, we'll be turning on the first spigot on Route 3.
All right.
Been a long time coming, but we look forward to it. I think within the next 30 days, we'll have water down through there. The extensions are a little ways off, but this is a good start. On the 27th, we moved our board meeting to the Woodville Volunteer Fire Department. That starts at 4 o'clock. Immediately after that, we will have public response to the water in that area. It should start around 6 o'clock, I think. We already have engineers over there. They're looking over the property. They're talking to property owners. So the 27th, we actually need people to sign up. We need them to bring their deposit.
And this would be for Woodville, Alcohol, Bulger Road.
Yes. Actually, what I'd like to do is have the people there from Alcohol and Woodville at this meeting. We will have another meeting in 30 days in the Bulger area. That is to make sure that everyone gets a little bit of one-on-one and we're not overran. But we are moving along on that. On the lower money, they're doing the same thing. They're talking to the property owners, trying to get paid sites, so on and so forth. So we're moving ahead on that project. Hopefully within the next week, we will have hired the engineers for the sewer system in Allen Creek to do a preliminary interpretation of what we need in that area. So it looks real good as far as that project proceeds. As far as the Hatfield and McCoy, I'd like for the folks with the Hatfield and McCoy to look at the Allen Creek area as well. We have a lot of potential there. I think that is the gateway to southern West Virginia. And I think that we're missing out on a big opportunity.
Are you thinking the property that would be close to where the Boone County property
Yes.
trails already exist?
Actually, next with that, and there's a lot of potential in that area. But I want to thank the commission and the board members for everything that they've done. We are making progress, but it's slow.
And I think Thomas has been doing a little bit of legwork on that eastern end of the county as far as the trail system, but preliminary at this juncture.
Yeah, I know the people of Ivy, in the Ivy Branch area just did not want it when we had talked to them before. I know the people in Corporal said they really didn't want to have anything in that area. It was the original area we looked at
I
back
talked,
a couple of years ago, so we need to make sure they're on board with what's going on over there.
I talked to the folks, and their biggest concern, I apologize for my voice, their biggest concern was that they had to pay to be on the trail, and they traveled every day, and so on and so forth. I also talked to people at Hatfield and McCoy that say that shouldn't be an issue. They can make certain adjustments that they don't have to. But I guess that's written in jello, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, based on the
If they can do that, I think it'll make a big difference.
based on some conversations I've had with people on McCorkle Road, some of the people that I think were very vocally in opposition maybe a few years ago, they've decided, I guess they've heard the stories, which I'm sure these guys back here have heard from other counties, where people said, no, we don't want Hatfield and McCoy, we can't ride our four-wheelers, we can't double head, things that we all hear. And after the people in McCorkle talk to people from these other counties that now live with Hatfield and McCoy, they realize the benefits outweigh the negatives. And now they're willing to put the area ahead of their own personal benefits. And they understand that to grow that area, they're going to have to help entice the Hatfield and McCoy and work with, there's one large landowner in that area that I think he's even at this point willing to work with the commission and Hatfield and McCoy to protect his interest, because you know, you hear a lot of people say, I don't want Hatfield and McCoy because I don't want four-wheelers on my property. Well, the reality is the four-wheelers are already there. And at least with Hatfield and McCoy, they're being monitored. And that's what this gentleman finally realizes, that there would be some semblance of law on the property after the Hatfield and McCoy.
Ron and I had talked to him, it's been a couple of years ago, but I think that he would definitely entertain that idea.
Yeah, and we will keep that simmering and work on it as we do with the Harts area with this next. Definitely needs to be, if we can do two, it would help Boone County a lot, because I know talking to Mickey and them boys up there, that they need more trail.
What I'd like to see is some informational meetings maybe at the McCorkle Center. I mean, educating the folks on what's going on is gonna be the biggest battle, but you're gonna see more results from that. I know at the water company, we've had people come and tell us that they did not want water in their area because we were gonna take their well. We can't take the well. We can't take the hole up out of the ground. I think it's the same
Well,
case.
and I think what we need to do is, since Ferris is sort of leading the thing, he's working for the commission a little bit and doing the work he is for the Hatfield McCoy, what we need to do is put that over in his category and say, you know, you heard the request and see what you can do and work toward it.
Well, and I think it's one of the things that landowners in general think that, just like we were talking about there, they think they get four-wheelers on the land when really they have much better control of the access to the land with the Hatfield McCoy system than they would on their own. Because we have rangers that monitor those systems to make sure they don't get off on private land, that they don't get off the right of way and things like that. And people really don't know, and I brought that to the attention of people at McCorkle back when I was trying to talk to them about that, was that it really helps you control your land access. And it also decreases your liability in case someone will get hurt on your land, because we assume liability on the trail system itself. So if someone wrecks on it, they don't have to worry about getting sued. And those are the things I think people need to know. They need to realize that exactly what the system will and will not do, because I think there's a lot of misinformation that goes in anything there is, but in this type thing, one person will say, well, you're not going to be able to do this, you're not going to be able to do that, or you have to wear a helmet. Of course, you know, that's one of the things they don't really like is safety equipment. But we know that's one of the things we deal with at Hatfield McCoy on the law enforcement and safety issues. Is we're looking at statewide, people are getting killed on ATVs. They need to have equipment. You little guys, when you ride ATVs, make sure you got a helmet, you know, and safety equipment. And that's what we do on Hatfield McCoy. And I think a lot of what Ron and Ferris can do is going to be PR, just informing the people what they do and don't have with it. And then I think that'll make them a lot more informed when they make a decision.
And back to one other thing, you mentioned about the water in Woodville. Did Terry Martin get a hold of you? I didn't worry. They got a meeting tomorrow at the Infrastructure Council at 11 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't snow too much. And I told him I'd try to be there because it looks like they're trying to put the package together to pick up the Laurel Fork area out of Woodville.
Right.
So,
We're about $2 million short, I think, we're about $1.5 million.
yeah, the price
We
keeps
also-
going up. Yeah.
We also have interviews tomorrow at 1 o'clock to select the engineer for the sewer system. So,
Well, I'll be there as far as I know at the infrastructure for the Laurel Fork. I told Terry last night I'd try to be there.
I think that I'll be able to make that.
Is there anyone else in the audience that's not on the agenda that would like to speak at this time? Okay, we go on to commission concerns.
Just a brief, of course, we got the sheriff here, and Donald, but we've, meeting in Harts, and we went from the 1 day to 1 day a week on Wednesday, doing county government out there, collecting taxes, and doing those things that each of these offices do, whether it be in the assessor's office or Mr. Whitten's office or Sheriff Bowman, and just basically try and see how well it works, because it's been so successful before. So basically what we're doing is one employee from each of those offices go out there on Wednesday, and that's their workstation. And so far it's been moving along pretty good, but the weather hasn't been cooperating as well, but
It's picking up each week.
yeah, we'll continue doing that. So. The next item, we have been requested for consideration to help out Lincoln Opportunity Company as far as providing meals at the McCorkle site. And first, I'd like to thank Bill and Alice for working with us and as a team between Southwestern and Lincoln Company and Lincoln County Commission, trying to coordinate and make it happen. And and we did. I think we've been pretty successful, and we have Bill and Alice here this morning to answer any questions or whatever. I don't know what we might do, but this time, Alice, you want to?
I'd just like to thank you, Mr. President, Thomas, Dr. Banks, for the help on that hot cold truck. It's made the world of difference.
Well,
And people just all the time wanting to stop the truck and what it does. And
well, it's a good service, and of course, all the services you guys provide are beneficial and good for the county. Not only provides service, but creates jobs too. So, what's the pleasure? Does the commission want to further support this, and what amount, I guess, is the issue?
I want to give a quick update since we're on this item. I had a conversation with the president of the McCorkle Community Center Board, Mr. Polly, and I'm not sure they discussed this in the meeting or maybe a recent meeting in regards to LCOC and also Southwestern. I think it's the desire of the board president to work with his board to pull a meeting together of Bill and Alice and anyone else from LCOC and Dwight Coburn to sit down and talk about this particular program and also the other programs offered through both agencies that could possibly be taken to McCorkle to help the people of that area. And I'm sure that if he hasn't been in touch with you yet, he'll be in touch with you. I believe after spending time in McCorkle talking to people that the food program is absolutely something that we must stand up and pay some money out of our account in order to help subsidize LCOC to keep this program afloat, especially after we invested in the truck. And I haven't seen a particular number, but the number I was going to offer up was $5,000. And I'm not sure if we can make a motion since it's in this part of the agenda.
Now, we know that the board of directors, they're gonna support the program too, right? We're just trying to work out the kinks of things.
Actually, the board president, and I'm not sure that they've discussed this, but he told me that it was his desire in working with the board to one day get the program back up to 5 days a week.
Okay, at this point, I entertain a motion to provide $5,000 for Lincoln County Opportunity Company to continue meals at McCorkle.
So moved.
Second?
Motion second, all yes, motion carries. Anything else? Hearing none?
Good community.
Something to report on?
Yeah, quickly.
Don't have anything.
And the McCorkle board also, I'm not sure if I'm telling Doris things that she hasn't heard yet since she's a board member, but he told me, your board president, that he wants to put together a legislative meeting and have the local legislators there from the Senate and the House to talk about the LCOC program and some others to see if there's other funding available through the state. On the committee report front, the only committee I have to report on is the local EDA. And for the kids from Ranger, the EDA is the local economic development agency. And the agency's main goal is to help bring new jobs and growth to the county so that jobs are provided and tax revenue, which directly goes back into the school system, which helps pay for your teachers and keeps your schools open. At the meeting, the main topic of discussion was the business park. And as most of you know, we have a business park that we're trying to foster and help move forward. The one business at this point that's looking to move to the business park or invest in new property there and build a new building and expand is Performance Fiberglass. And actually they're in the stage of closing the deal on the property. This will be new investment in the county. There's a possibility of some large grants that they may be able to attract that will result in more hirings, and those jobs will hopefully be Lincoln Countyans. One of the areas of concern is the fact that where the property is located, there's no sewer service. So the EDA is pursuing some grant money to help bring sewer to that part of the property. And if it's not possible, we're looking at helping them to pay for a personal sewer system so that the progress is not halted because of grant money not coming along. The EDA has a $50,000 state grant for infrastructure, and at the meeting, it was decided to spend that $50,000 to upgrade the existing road and the infrastructure associated with that road. And the last point was the fact that finally Lincoln County has the paperwork ready to submit to become a certified business location, and that should be submitted within the next 60 days. And that will put us with about 50 other counties that have already been certified. So we're working to catch up, but we'll be there.
Sound like you've been busy.
That's the
I do have a quick report on their health summit. I attended a meeting in, sit in for Thomas Ramey. He was at another grant meeting, and, which Sean came up and took some pictures and things, and hopefully there'll be more of it in their health, issue. But, we are working towards getting a, meeting set up in the Hearts area for AA and NA. And the Lincoln EMS is getting a training facility there at the top of the Hearts area, at the top of the hill. And I think they're working with Jerry Swanson, also through probation, to getting these meetings coming into reality.
I'd like to thank Judy for attending that meeting. Helping bring NA and AA across Lincoln County is a very important thing, I believe, so that there's a safety net for people that have struggled and they have someone to help them through the process.
Big problem for sure.
Sean, take a question.
The Board of Education committed the 100,000 on Tuesday night, and we're passing over to you all to commit your 100,000. So when do we expect for the stadium?
Well, we had a conversation, I think, yesterday. Did you get around to talking about it?
Yes, sir.
Our game plan would be to do the 80, and with the understanding that we gave our 20,000 to the Board of Education, to the Department of Highways to build the bridge. And I think it's their responsibility, and we've expressed that, for them to get this 20 back, and then that'll make our 100. We will definitely honor that, but we're certainly not going to do it without a string attached.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay.
I had forgotten that. And one other item at the board meeting was the commission had committed $25,000 to the purchase of the property for the new School of Arts, and the property has already been purchased. But after the property was purchased, there was a trial, and the jury has awarded the property, one particular property owner, over 200% more than what the appraised value was. So the school board is now asking if we could come up with the $25,000 that was committed. And at the board meeting, I told the superintendent that that's a binding vote, and I see no reason why we would not honor that commitment.
I agree.
Which I did look, and in that order, it stated that we would give it to them. That was in September the 18th of 2008.
And I have to make this one point about the property, the whole process. It baffles me to know that when the new high school was built here in Hamlin, and the property that was purchased, based on the records I kept, was about $2,500 per acre. But the Harts property is coming out to about $60,000 per acre. I just do not see how in the world the property in the Harts area is that much more valuable. And I know that's been a few years ago, but that big of a difference in value in Lincoln County, something's wrong there.
I read this couple of stories on that. I was thinking it even said possibly 90,000 acres.
I was going with the low number.
Is there any chance that the board's going to appeal it?
At the meeting, the superintendent said that it was his understanding the appeal process had already began, and there was only one way to appeal, and once that decision is made, there's no way to appeal that decision. And the problem they still face is the fact that this 200% increase, which is from 78,000 to 252, is just for one section of property. There's other property owners now that will come back to the Lincoln County court system and try to get the same ruling, which would put about 14 acres in Harts, about 600,000+ compared to 200 and some acres in Hamlin for 600,000. Something's not right there.
All right, anything else?
The only thing I want to just add again is, since my last meeting two weeks ago, we've doubled the amount of type A and type B flu we're seeing at the clinic. The kids are getting really a lot of GI problems with it this year. They're having more throwing up than they did last year. And that usually means if they're throwing up in the schools, it has a lot of you get a lot of the infectious material in that. So you do just like you did with the H1N1, which I think this is a resurgence of that, plus type B flu. But you make sure you wash your hands, make sure you don't drink after people, and tell all the kids that, okay? And you guys go home and tell your moms that too. This is a very contagious flu we're seeing now. I'm treating whole family members with a positive in one of them. And that's what the CDC recommends this year. They didn't do that last year, but they do recommend this just this year. So we've got at least 2 different varieties of this flu going around. And if you're sick, don't go to school. And don't go back to school to 24 hours with no fever, not taking Tylenol or Motrin or anything. So, you guys got that? All right.
Well, they've already been
All right.
sanitizing their hands.
Yeah, all the time.
You know what? We should all give them a round of applause because that is a great, well-behaved bunch of kids.
I always thought that kids couldn't sit that quiet.
None of them went to sleep. I was watching, not a one went to sleep.
They're saving that when they go home, see. Okay. All right, motion to adjourn this meeting at 11:35.
Second.
Stand adjourned.